I guess I should sing my theme song. So it's da 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 from Indiana Jones. And anyway, I'm here this morning with my new friend. Her name is Sue, but she's going to say her full name at the LNR restaurant in Danielson. NK. Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I can't read my own writing. So anyway, please introduce yourself because I want to say your name right.
Yeah, no worries. Hi, I'm Sue Vaughn, but I also go by Sue. My parents own both NK Asian Market and NK Restaurant, but I'm super happy to be here today with Ruth. But yeah.
Address, give us a full address.
Yes.
Business hours and the phone number. We'll get all that. And I'm going to drink my cool boba tea while you're doing that.
Yeah, so NK Restaurant, we're located on 18 Furnace Street here in Danielson, Connecticut. Our hours, we are 11 to 8, Monday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and Sundays. And then on Fridays and Saturdays, we're 11 to 9. But we're closed on Tuesdays for cleaning and prep and all of that. We're located in the heart of downtown Killingly. Our phone number is 860-359-8060. And you can also find us on Instagram at NK Restaurant.
All right, so you have to talk about the amazing offerings of food that you have here because you have a menu like no one else does.
Right.
And for people like me who like to try different things, I don't want to eat the same thing all the time. I want to try different things. So talk about the horizons that we get to conquer when we come to this restaurant.
Yeah, so I feel like what differentiates us a lot from other typical like Thai kind of restaurants that you might encounter in like every other town is that we cater a lot towards Lao as well, like Lao food. My parents immigrated here from Laos, and I feel like especially growing up in a small town like Killingly, there's not many options when it comes to diversity of food. And my mom kind of saw the lack of her own culture in the town that she was raising her kids in. And there is a decent amount of Lao people in this community, so she just kind of figured that like this is a void that she took upon herself to kind of fill in.
And I didn't know that there was a Lao population here.
Yeah, we kind of go. Yeah, no, I growing up, I knew it was there because obviously when you're in the community, you're very aware. But from an outsider perspective, like it's a not very diverse town, so it's completely understandable to not recognize that there are other subcategory of different cultures in this town. But going back to it, what really differentiates us is probably authenticity and really those bold flavors that you might not be able to find at other Thai restaurants. I know Lao food is very synonymous with Thai food as well. So here you're gonna find the typical things that you like see at other typical Thai restaurants, like curries and fried rices and pad thai, pad see ew, stuff like that you will normally find. But as well, there's also stuff that you probably wouldn't find that caters more towards the Lao side of food. Our national dish, lap gai, lap sin, which Ruth is going to try today with us.
Yep, and you'll be able to see it on YouTube. So obviously, we'll verbally describe it for the audience who will not see it. But for those of you who will look at it on YouTube, you'll be able to see the beauty of it.
Yes.
Too bad we don't have a smell-o-vision.
I know.
We need to be able to smell.
Guess you're gonna
things.
have to come.
Yes, just come.
Just come. And
all right. Talk more about the food. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it's my mom back there single-handedly making everything from scratch. So our spring rolls are from scratch.
Wow.
Crab rangoons are from scratch. She wakes up at the crack of dawn, stays up till like literally 12 a.m. rolling everything herself. Everything's made to order, so it's coming out now.
Talk about a labor of love. Sydney, say hi. Say hi.
This is Sydney.
Yeah, Sydney, the awesome person who was first hired.
My first hired employee / soul sister.
We were interrupted by this great order coming in. We have little triangular pieces of, I'm holding up, fried tofu.
Yes.
With?
It's in our house spice mix. To this day, my mom will not tell me what is in a lot of her food, simply because she's gatekeeping for rightfully so.
Sure, she should protect her.
Right. And
and there's a third one. Okay, so we'll start. I'm gonna munch on the tofu, but you're gonna talk more about the quality of the food and stuff like that.
Yes. So one thing my mom takes pride of, we own the market next door as well as the restaurant here, everything here that you see, and if you want to try it yourself, you can completely go next door and grab, and that's kind of like the beauty of our marketing scheme we have going on here. But it really is, like Ruth said, like a labor of love. She puts her heart into the food. She preps stuff like days prior at the beginning of the week, and really just prides herself in the quality of food that she's giving to her customers. So we have 2 dishes here that I kind of wanted Ruth to highlight, because these are dishes that you probably won't find honestly around here at all, unless it's like from our restaurant.
Which one do you want me to hold up first? You want to do this
Yes, Nam
Okay.
Khao.
So take a look. Explain what's on there.
For the people that don't see us now, this is Nam Khao. This is really, yes, it's like a Lao food. Like, I know Lao and Thai food, like I said, are synonymous, but this is specific to Lao. What it is, it's kind of like a crispy rice that's been tossed in a bunch of spices, curried, and then like this cured kind of sour pork. So you're gonna get that crunch, but then it's also mixed in with stuff like lemon juice, chili powder, rice powder. So you get a bunch of like aromatics, green onion, stuff like that. And then usually you eat it with like lettuce or something like that, or sticky rice, which you eat with your hands. Have you ever tried sticky rice before?
I have, but
It's gonna be rice.
I usually
on
don't eat
rice.
with my hands. The sticky
you're
rice
good.
is in a very cute little
I know. It's
like I know,
yeah, I don't
woven
I forgot what it's
basket
called.
container.
I think it's like there's a Lao word for this that I'm completely blanking on. But yeah, it's in like a bamboo. It's handmade. She got this when we went to Laos.
Let me hold it up closer to the camera.
It's super cute.
That's adorable. So it's like a little rice basket, and the rice is in a plastic bag, and it's warm inside, so it keeps the basket keeps it warm.
Yes, yes. This is how we eat it in our country. So it's like, this is just like, I don't know how it works, but it keeps the rice warm, and obviously when you're eating good food, you want it to be as fresh as possible.
So this thing that I'm trying, it's crunchy, and it has I don't know what the flavor profile is, like what the spices are. Are those top secret kind of things?
Yeah, I could give you the rundown of the general.
Yeah, what's generally in there?
Because Nam Khao is traditionally made. I know there's curry in there. You make it mixed together with like day-old rice. Coconut shavings are in there as well, but you don't taste the coconut.
Interesting.
It's like coconut, curry powder, chili powder. I know she probably puts like a little bit of like chicken flavor seasoning in there as well.
What's the pink stuff?
The pink stuff, it's called Nam. It's very popular in Southeast like cuisine, but it's kind of essentially fermented pork.
That's amazing. I have never had something like that, and
yeah,
I normally don't like certain Lao things because I've had other Lao things, I think, but this is amazing.
If anyone ever were to come in, I've had customers come in before and they're like, I want to try something like Lao food, but I don't know where to start. Usually I would always recommend lapsing, which we'll go into later, or Nam Khao, but Nam Khao is always usually the safe choice because I know it's flavors that they never had before, never been introduced to, but it's also hearty and comforting enough that I know that they'll probably like it and enjoy it. And if they don't, that's completely fine, but
there's really no heat to it either, so
it's more aromatic.
Controlling that. It's more
yeah, for sure. And then we usually eat Nam Khao. Usually, like they put it on like lettuce and then make a little wrap. That's really popular in our culture. Same with like lap too. Like you.
So I'll hold that one up.
Yes.
So I'm gonna hold that up so you can explain what's on that plate.
So
YouTube people will be able to see this.
Yes.
You should see the pretty decorations too. If I don't want to slide off the plate. Here we go.
But that's lap. Lap. It's spelled larb. But
but it's pronounced differently.
Lap, yes. Ours are silent in both Thai and the Lao language. But lap is essentially, it's like a minced pork. Ruth got lap gai, which is chicken gai, or you can get lap sin, which is beef. And basically what that is it's just like a ground meat that's mixed in with rice powder. That's kind of the, or like toasted rice powder. That's the main ingredient in this. It's mixed in with lime juice, onions, chilies, spring onions, cilantro, herbs, mint.
Is there lemongrass in there?
Yes, there is.
That is amazing.
Thank you. It's super refreshing.
The flavor is, it's like a smile inside of my mouth when I'm eating it.
Right.
It's really a wonderful. I just wish I could describe it better because it has so many nice flavors in it.
Yeah, it's definitely something that like you're craving, like if you've had it before, the people that have had that before, when it's like a hot day and you want something that's a little bit refreshing but still hearty, this is what I normally would go for. It's definitely a labor of love. Lap is not easy to make at all, which I feel like is why a lot of restaurants don't offer, even if they do like are familiar with the cuisine, which is also going back to what we talked about before, why it differentiates us, because my mom is willing to put in that work and effort, because obviously like nam khao, you're hand kneading it yourself, you're like making sure the flavors are right. It's really easy to mess up if you don't measure it correctly, but there also are no measurements. You measure with your heart, you taste as you go. And she puts that effort and love forward with like all of her dishes.
I like that way you said that. She measures with her heart.
Yes, that's a big thing I learned. I know growing up in America, a lot of ingredients when you're like trying to figure out how to bake or like how to cook, like all those recipes are like, oh, like teaspoon of this, a quarter of this, like you're gonna add like this amount of sauce, this many ounces of this. But like in Asian culture, Asian cuisine, Southeast specifically too, you can have like 3-4 Lao grandmas side by side making the same dish. It will not taste the same because each of them have their own little unique taste to it. And I feel like that's the beauty of it, because it's the same food, but it's never gonna really taste the same.
Right.
Because it's their preference, and you can tell what that person likes and what that person prefers based on how their food tastes.
Right.
Which I feel like is just something that is kind of just beautiful in the Southeast Asian community in general, that is just like shared.
So talk about like what landed you here in Danielson, Connecticut? You know, all the way from Laos to here. What's the backstory as far as how you landed?
Yeah, honestly, on my side, I didn't really have a choice.
They dragged you along, so you had to come.
I was born, my own backstory, I don't know for my parents specifically, but I can just share it on my own. I know my dad immigrated here in the 70s. He was a refugee. He doesn't really talk a lot about his story, obviously for right reasons. And I honestly... I have
that in my history too, yeah.
Yeah, essentially all you guys need to know is that it was a very, very hard time for Southeast Asia. There was the Khmer Rouge. They were just recovering from the Vietnam War, and during that time, Laos was, and still is, like, it's completely unknown, it still is the most bombed country in history. And people, when they think, like, most bombed countries, they think of, like, the Middle East, or, like, Iraq, Syria, stuff like that. But, no, it's Laos. Like, the U.S. dropped millions and millions and millions of bombs on the country that still actively affect the people living there now, especially it's very rural. There's a bunch of landmines that are undetonated that kill thousands and thousands of citizens in Laos every day, and it's still a tragedy, and the U.S. is still kind of slowly trying to pay back what their damage is. But he came here during that time, started his whole life here, and then met my mom, because he would go back and forth to like visit family too. And then when I was 5, I immigrated here in 2008, 2007, around there. But I don't know why he chose this town. I think also there is a little community here. There always has been. It's just never in like the forefront. I feel like when you're coming in during a time where your country is in war, you don't want to make yourself known. Obviously, and it's a country where you just don't really, like, it's hard for people coming in because it's completely foreign to them. They don't speak the language. They don't eat the food. They don't know how to communicate. So I think he lived in different places before. My dad, I know he lived in Texas, lived in Rhode Island, and then he settled here because it's quiet, it's quaint. He can build a life for himself here. And my mom kind of just followed him. And then I grew up here. It's a cute, quaint little town. But,
it is. I mean, and Danielson has a lot of things going for it.
Yes, it's developing very quickly.
It has woken up in the last, I'd say, 3 to 5 years or so.
Yeah, there's always news coming out. They're building like a Jersey Mike's and like
really?
There's like an Ulta there now and all this stuff. And then there's also like a Chipotle that's like potentially going to be opening up as well. So it's definitely very interesting because these are these new developments that have just never. I feel like growing up, the town is kind of stagnant in a way, and then also like the history of it. It hasn't always been the best town to live in, considering like in the early 2000s, like there was like a lot of controversy with like teen pregnancy and all this stuff here. But it really has changed for the greater good.
Well, and you know, my kids went to QVCC here. I used to work here at a local place for people who needed supervision and help when they were in their living situations, etc. But back to the food thing, I mean, part of what's also amazing besides the restaurant is the grocery store right next door.
Yes.
And that sources the menu here. And talk about the sourcing as far as the ingredients, the things that come to the table, and where they fly in from, you know, how that works.
Yeah, of course. My parents, when it comes to produce, do try to keep it local. Like, obviously, we are an Asian market, so obviously we're gonna get export stuff when it comes to, like, sauces and all of those stuffs overseas. But when it comes to produce, my parents try to keep it as local as possible. Every day, 5 a.m. in the morning sharp, my dad is up and going to Boston to source.
Oh my gosh.
Every Saturday, every Tuesday, every Saturday. They're up,
amazing.
going to Boston, going to Providence, and they are picking.
I appreciate my food even more knowing the lengths that you would go to in order to provide a product like what we're looking at here.
Yes, it, like I said, it is a labor of love on both ends. Obviously, my dad's not the one back there cooking with my mom, but it's they equally put in effort because it's what they love to do, and they know that they're helping the community in some ways too, because they opened the market in 2010 when there was a complete lack of diversity or any type of pioneer when it comes to like introducing Lao, Thai, anything really. There was a couple places obviously, but I know when it comes to groceries and being able to give the community access to those new products, my mom, I can 100% say, was the pioneer and coined the availability and access to have those here. But yeah, it's crazy because we've grown so much in like since 2010, like 15 years, if my math is right.
Yep,
like since they've opened the market, and now it's like a very well known market, and I don't know, it just
and you know I live in Willimantic, and it takes me less than 30 minutes to get here. There's a little Asian market in North Wyndham, but what you have here as far as offerings is tons bigger and tons.
Yes.
I mean, I know people who will they'll go to Adong, of course, because West Hartford is, you know, that's the mecca of Asian food. But here we have this right here in our own backyard.
Yeah.
This is much closer.
Yeah, and she tries her best to release sort of stuff that people want to. So obviously there's been times where I was working there when I was younger, and then someone would be like, I really like want this, but I can't find it. She will go out of her way to order it for you.
Really?
Like everything over there, she takes criticism very well, which is what I always like admired about her. Like and then she also takes feedback, so like from her own two daughters that are obviously like in the younger generation. There's things on TikTok now with the platform of TikTok, there's things being showcased and all of this stuff, and like people want it, there's a demand for it, so she will ask directly her customers as well as her own daughters, being like, okay, what's popular now, what should we bring in, and everything. So
what's something that you recently brought in based on a customer comment? Can you think of some?
Yeah, so it's just something as general as like ramen. Ramen. The Samyang.
There's 100.
Yes, the Samyang specific carbonara ramen. For the younger viewers out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The pink viral TikTok ramen.
You have that?
Yes, it's over there. She has every single flavor.
Guess where I'm going after the interview?
No, literally, she has every single flavor. Those are my favorite. Before I started eating gluten-free, I would eat those every single day.
I have to get this part in here too because I've never seen this before. So this is tofu, fried tofu, crunchy on the outside with secret spices from mom, creamy on the inside, and they're cut in little triangles. This is a huge order. When I've traveled, I had stinky tofu when I was in China. I was in Nanjing, and I mean, I eat anything, and I am happy to try anything. But that is one thing I will not ever try again. This is not like stinky tofu though. This is much better. So it's got the salty and crunchy on the outside, and it's creamy on the inside. It's awesome. Do you like this?
Yes, I like it.
It's gluten-free, right?
Yes, it's gluten-free. But yeah, basically anything on our menu, with the exception of a few things that are pre-made, can be made gluten-free. And we have a lot of vegetarian options as well. It doesn't hurt to ask because everything is made to order. So if you like something a certain way and you don't like it spicy, or you don't like it salty, or you don't want gluten and you don't want meat, you can just tell our server, because we literally do not start it until you order it.
And you know that begs me to say something like, you know, when you come in here, don't expect that you're going to be here in 5 minutes and then leave. Come here and enjoy yourself. Linger over your meal. Enjoy your company. Have a conversation. Put your phone away. Don't do social media stuff. Enjoy your friends and your family. I think, to me, that is the pure joy of food.
Yes.
Because it brings people together. And food brought you and your family all the way from another part of the world to this little town in Danielson to open this restaurant and offer it as a gift to the public.
Yes.
So, yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for letting me try some things. This is amazing. I want to make sure we get the name of the restaurant, your address, your social media presence, where best to like hear about what's happening here, all the important information, because I'm hoping that many people will just make a beeline, that they'll make their way here to Danielson to come and try food here.
Yeah, of course. Like I said, NK Restaurant, located at 18 Furnace Street, Danielson, Connecticut. You can follow us on Facebook. You can probably Google us, find our number there. Open every day except for Tuesdays, 11 to 8 or 11 to 9, Friday and Saturday. And yeah, we're on DoorDash, we're on Facebook, and honestly, I run the social media, so if you have any questions, feel free to just even message me on Facebook, and I'll try my best to get back to you.
Yeah, so Facebook is the best place to interact with you and get any information, right?
And we have 15% off on Thursdays for dine-in.
Ooh, good to know. And what about, like, do you take reservations, or is it are walk-ins best? What is good?
We usually try walk-ins. We never get super busy enough to the point where we need reservations, but obviously if it's going to be a party more than like 7 or 8, like, we'd like the heads up just so we can reserve the spot for you guys. But besides that, it's free reign. You come in, you sit down, enjoy your meal, chit chat with your friends, and yeah, that's kind of just very casual.
Has anyone ever like reserved the entire place at all?
We've had people try, but we prefer not to, because it's giving away the opportunity for like other customers,
other people
as well.
to dine.
But we've had like this entire section be completely full with like one party, and that's completely fine. But obviously you can't rent out the whole place. My parents would prefer to, because obviously like we have other customers to cater to as well. But yeah, we don't mind taking a bigger party if necessary.
Well, I have really enjoyed trying some Laotian food. Did I say that right? Lao food. Yes. I would just say Lao food. Okay, all right. I've enjoyed trying some Lao food this morning. It's been really wonderful. I get leftovers awesomely. And the plates are very beautiful. I mean, you can't see this through radio, but you have like a type of an orchid, and I believe those are edible.
Yes,
right?
the Thai orchids.
Yep. I think I had those in my wedding bouquet, actually. Yeah, and then there's some hot peppers, some cool sliced cucumbers, and some other greens that I do not...
It's kale, mint, basil, and then some lettuce, obviously, because the Lao people love lettuce.
Really? Is that... So if I came in here and I said, what's your best recommendation? What should I try that's Lao? Would it be...
I always will go with Nam Khao. But Sydney, what would you do? Like, like if you had to give a recommendation.
I really like the Laotian and drunken noodles. Drunken noodles are really popular here as well.
Drunken noodles.
But I always tell people when they ask that it depends what you're in the mood for, because I feel like I have a different recommendation based on if you're feeling like you want a nice hearty soup, or if you want a noodle dish, that type of thing.
Cool. All right, well, I'm gonna wind this down. I think I'm out of time, and I'm almost out of room on my phone. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you for your hospitality. Thank you for letting me come and visit this morning. Thank you for being here. I only wish you and your family success.
Thank you so much.
And not just in food, even in other things that you told me about earlier. So, like, yay for you, Sue. This is Ruth Hartunian-Ellenbaugh, otherwise known as Ravings and Cravings, signing off here on Good Company, WILI.